Hello there guys, so I've been reading a lot of really cool comic books recently and I want to tell you about these comic books, but before that I want to show you this eyeshadow. How cool is that? Look. I normally wouldn't bother wearing an eyeshadow, but this one reminds me of space. It's like changes colours and I don't know. Anyway, onto the comic books. It was Free Comic Book Day a few weeks ago, so I've been reading a lot of the comics from that, and I've picked out my favourite ones because there was like, I don't know, 20 comics or something. So I've picked out the ones that I'm actually going to repurchase to tell you about. Repurchase. Grumpy Cat and Pokey. This is by Dynamite, I think. It was actually really funny. I was just surprised. I picked it up obviously because we all know who Grumpy Cat is. There's kind of like 3 mini stories in here, so I normally don't really read these kind of comic books that I think are probably more aimed towards children, but it was really funny, and it kind of was more like adult humour in my opinion, dressed up as superheroes, and I love the contrast. It's one of those dynamic duos that we see a lot in where one of them is really upbeat and kind of funny or a bit nerdy, and the other one's usually more intelligent but a bit more serious, and they just kind of work really well together to create like something really funny to watch. Pokey has more of like a dog-like personality, you know, where they're kind of just lovable, whereas Grumpy Cat is obviously not like that. He always has a comeback. He always has like a thing that he always has a witty thing to say, in my opinion. I don't think the character means it to be a witty thing to say always, but it just really made me laugh. The Grumpy Cat books are out already, by the way. Suicide Squad issue 1 for free. They're already up to, I don't know, like issue 50 in this. I thought it might have been a new Suicide Squad coming out, but it isn't. It's just that they're giving away this one for free because the movie's coming out soon. I really want to see the Harley Quinn backstory. I think they do include a Harley Quinn backstory. Obviously a lot of people are really obsessed with Harley Quinn, almost as much as the Joker nowadays. This first issue is basically just these guys kind of getting tortured for information, and Harley Quinn kind of has a bit of a flashback. It's just fun violence. I know that sounds strange, but we've all seen the advert for the movie and it's just crazy, so I want to read more of these. This is a manga that I have heard of, but only because people made a joke that Vegeta really wanted to be One Punch Man because he kind of goes straight into the stomach like that, and he kind of stays there like, oh, like he expects them to just implode on themselves. Anyway, One Punch Man, I read, it's only a few pages. It's kind of like just a really small preview. Even though it's only the second manga that I've read, I've only read Attack on Titan before this one. I don't know whether it's all mangas, but it kind of has like a really eerie, like creepy feel to it. It's kind of like a nightmare because it's just so odd and out of the ordinary. They probably mean the same thing. I want to read more of this. It just kind of got my attention. It seemed interesting and reminded me of Attack on Titan. Last of all is one that isn't from Free Comic Book Day. It's a really, not really old, I don't want to say, but it's a classic, and obviously I've wanted to read it for a while because everyone's really been telling me about it. Obviously the movie's just come out recently, which has made me even more into it because Bucky Barnes is just my favourite at the moment. It's Civil War. I've finished this one and I've read a little bit of this one. This is The Road to Civil War, which is apparently obviously before this because it's the road to it. Anyway, it's really good. Obviously it's going to be really good, but it's so different to the movies, and I'm really glad about that because it's like 2 completely different takes on a similar thing. Iron Man is apparently a bit more, that's my phone, I bet you all check your phones then. Iron Man is apparently a bit more of like an arsehole basically in the comics. In the movie it was kind of like Steve Rogers just really wanted to protect Bucky Barnes from what could happen, and he was also losing faith in the government. I'm not quite up to that yet in the book, where the government really steps in. At the moment it's kind of, I don't want to give any of it away. There hasn't been basically pretty much any Captain America in it yet because I've only read a few pages of this, so it's more Iron Man so far, and it just kind of shocked me a little bit. I don't really trust him, even though I think he is trying to do the right thing. As always, I think he's trying to do the right thing, but as we all saw in the last Avengers movie. Was it Age of Ultron? Sometimes his personal views get in the way and he should have listened. So yeah, this is still similar in the way that Iron Man is working with Spider-Man and he's kind of making his suit and stuff like that and kind of reeling him in a little bit, it feels like, so it makes you not want to trust him very much. And yeah, it's really interesting. I just want everyone to pick up that's the movie, Captain America Civil War. I think everyone should pick up Civil War. I think it's 7 books in total. I had to Google what order do you read the Civil War Marvel comics in, and so far I've just read this and a bit of this. I've said that like 3 times now, shut up. Yeah, I just think everyone should read it. It's going to be, with it being Marvel, there's always going to be a bit of humour. Well, I don't know about always, I haven't read that much Marvel. There's often humorous parts which just make you laugh. They're really cool, especially with people like Spider-Man in, and you're attached to the characters. They're all really great characters. It's full of action and drama and just interesting like plot twists and turns, and they're just so good. There's a reason why Marvel are pretty much owning right now. And yeah, I'm definitely going to read the rest of these. I think it's The Road to Civil War, then Civil War, then Civil War, Spider-Man, The Amazing Spider-Man, and then I think it might be Captain America and Iron Man. Apparently they were separate at first, but now, because these are obviously the like trade backs of all the things put together, apparently they have Iron Man and Captain America in the same book. And then after that there'll be like Thor, I think, Wolverine, the Hulk, and yeah, I just can't wait to read them all and tell you about them in my next comic book what I was gonna say comic book movie, in my next comic book style video. So leave a comment if you've read any of these, or you think there's anything new coming out that I really should check out, or don't give away any spoilers preferably. I will see you again probably in a few days, and I hope you have a nice day, unless you're like a murderer or an animal abuser or something like that. Bye. The box is awesome. Obviously it's got the Joker, Captain America, Deadpool and Boba Fett, which are probably 4 of the coolest characters ever created by anything. I'm just impressed with this eyeshadow. Focus on me. Focus on me.